how's it going? My name's Kevin McCloskey, and I'm going to take a closer look in at Donald Trump and his motive when he tried to bring coal back and revive the coal industry. Um, so let's get started. So first, we're going to take an actual look at a rally and the propaganda that Trump kind of put behind this idea that he was going to revive coal. So let's take a look.
And I know this doesn't matter to you, but we are putting our great coal miners back to work. Great people, great people. Brave people. I don't know how the hell you do that, I'll tell you. You guys have a lot of courage. But we love clean, beautiful West Virginia coal. We love it. Right. And you know, that's indestructible stuff. In times of war, in times of conflict, you can blow up those windmills, they fall down real quick. You can blow up those pipelines, they go like this, and you're not going to fix them too fast. You can do a lot of things to those solar panels, but you know what you can't hurt? Coal. You can do whatever you want to coal.
So there you go. And you may have noticed it says to the right, poor coal miners, and I'll explain why. So now we're going to take a look at the actions that Trump took to show people that the industry was probably going to be revived and the policies that he took to try and revive the industry. So one, he signed the Paris Agreement, and it's a agreement regarding climate change, stating coal is one of the reasons, lifted Obama's freeze on new coal leases on public lands, and revoked a rule to limit coal mining companies from dumping debris into local streams. So he was taking environmental action in anticipation of the coal industry picking up pace, kind of showing people and selling the idea that the coal revival is looming, and mostly showing coal miners and people that are affected by the economic state of coal miners that it is going to come back, and this is going to be a big source of energy again because Trump and the administration is going to create policy in order to make that happen. But, you know, other forces and trends show the exact opposite, and that he can't really control that through policy, and we'll go into that now. First, I also want to talk about the impact of coal on communities. And while coal mining isn't the most common of jobs in the U.S., only 76,000 employed. To put that in perspective, it's about as much as like a big bank like Bank of America, maybe even less. But you know, so it really isn't that much in relation to a lot of other places, and you might think, oh, that's not that big of an imprint on the economy, but it really is more than 76,000 people because a lot of communities rely on coal mining for jobs because where they are geographically. So, you know, like a lot of cities and, you know, places where coal mining is very prevalent are affected by this. So it's really a lot more than 76,000 people, and, you know, people care about the decline of coal mining, and it's a bigger topic in America than the 76,000 people employed says. So it's important. So now we're going to take a look at the decline of the coal industry and why it's happening, and it's mostly due to market trends and other sources of energy. So we'll take a look at a couple statistics in this little visual. So 49% of the decline in domestic U.S. coal consumption was due to the drop in natural gas prices. So drop in prices means a greater demand. And people are kind of using this as a different alternative as for energy than coal because, you know, it's less expensive and it's more efficient. And over the last decade, the U.S. has seen 40% decline in coal-fired generation. So it's a kind of a gradual decline, and it's been happening throughout the past 10 years, and you know, it's been happening. And 18% of the decline was due to growth in renewable energy, so that's another source of energy and another factor that's contributing to the decline other than natural gas. So, there's a lot of different factors going into this decline. And according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, total U.S. coal consumption in 2018 was the lowest in 39 years. So it's really taken a hit as of late. And the decline of the coal industry is a result of market forces and not policy. This means that there's nothing the administration can do to stop this decline because renewable energy and natural gases are just a better alternative with price and efficiency. And the world is adapting to this new idea. And the world is always changing and evolving, and this is how it's evolving. So there's nothing anyone can really do about it. It's technology, it's modern, and that's what's happening. So there is no hope in the revival of coal, and because of this new technology of renewable energy and natural gas, it's the new wave. And they're more cost efficient, environmentally friendly. They're more efficient in itself in the use of it. And coal is becoming obsolete. And it's just like, flip phones became obsolete because it's just better. And smartphones are just better. And renewable energy, natural gas is just a better alternative than coal. And that's basically how the cookie is crumbling in the economy and in the U.S. right now. And I want to talk about the ignorance of the coal miners because they don't realize this, and because of Trump talking about the revival of coal, they still believe in the hope that their job can be revived and that their source of income will be through coal mining when it's just not the reality of the situation, and they have to adapt because this is what the market force is saying. These are what the trends are saying. These are what the experts are saying. So why is Trump trying to bring jobs to coal miners a bad thing and trying to put the idea in their head that coal mining and the industry will be revived? So it will end up increasing the distrust towards this Trump administration by the American people because it'll make people question his motives and why is he doing this if he knows, because he clearly has the resources as the president to know that market forces are forcing natural gases and renewable energy into the spot that coal used to have as the main sources of energy. So it will make people question, like, so if he knows this information, why is he trying to tell people something different and that it's possible for coal to be revived when it's really not? And coal miners will continue to lose jobs at the hands of alternative energy companies. So instead of coal miners trying to look for other options, other jobs, other ways to, create income, they're going to be hanging on the idea that, oh, my coal mining job is going to come back because of Trump and the administration and the policies they're creating, when it's really not. And coal miners will become upset and angered at the Trump administration for leading them in the wrong direction. And this is good for no one. And the coal miners, they're going to end up resenting Trump and resenting the administration, and that can't be good for anyone. What should Trump be doing, and what actions should he be taking instead of the actions that he has been taking? And how should he try to address the problem of coal miners without jobs? And clearly that's not coal, because come on, we've been talking about that. So increase the amount of solar jobs in coal mining areas. So an easy fix that could be thought of is replace the old energy with the new energy jobs. And places like Kentucky and West Virginia, where coal mining is prominent, they each rank 45th and 41st per capita, respectively, in solar jobs. This means that places where coal mining is prevalent and is very common, that solar jobs are not. So in order to help these communities that are greatly affected by the decline of coal mining, you can put solar jobs there because those are man-made and they're manufactured. It's not like nature is driving the geographical place where solar energy and renewable energy plants have to be. You could put them anywhere. So that could be an easy fix for these people who are losing the jobs. Or simply find another solution and not to add fuel to the fire, because adding fuel to the fire is just going to blow up in the faces of everyone. It's going to make Trump look like he had different motives other than helping the American people. It's going to make the American people not trust Trump, and all the things that we discussed previously. Like I said, with the amount of the information and resources that the president has, there's no way that he should be in such denial of the fact that coal is a dying industry and that it can be revived, because it just simply can't. And so many smart people are, revolving around him, and he's such a high power position. There's no way he couldn't have heard, and the administration couldn't have heard that there's nothing they could do about the revival of coal, and it's just market forces and trends that are forcing renewable energy and natural gases into the most used alternative for energy. And one of two things were either going through the admission's head logically when they're trying to revive coal. Either one, they were fishing for votes from the naive coal miners and their families and the communities, like we talked about. A lot more people than just the coal miners, the 76,000, are affected by this and do not want to hear the truth do not want to hear the truth about their dying industry, the naive coal miners that we talked about before. Or they're too dumb to realize that coal's declining trend will not stop. And that's very hard to believe, as there's so much information being thrown around the White House and the higher-ups and the executives. So option one seems like the more realistic option. And that causes, me as a citizen to, not trust Trump and politicians even more than we already do, because what are their motives at the end of the day? To help the people or to help themselves and help, their power trip and push themselves into office by spreading lies? And, it's a little disheartening. And here are the resources. So thank you again, and stay safe.